Hi, welcome to my views and news. Thank you for joining the live chat session. Always good to be with you in these live chats. The main topics in this session for you. Let me greet the participants. John Spencer says, "Hi Sajid, you are late and I'm early to the chat." Yeah, I got a little late today. John Spencer, followed by Alam Gizao, the first member who joined today is Alam. How are you, Alam? Alam is one of the first one who became a member when I launched membership in October last year. If you want to be a member, click the link given in description section of the live chat or the videos. Bashe joined too. Bashe is a regular participant in live chats, in comment section. Lar joined too. Lar is a regular contributor as well in comment section. How are you, Lar? Tiglo Ghiza Nisrane says, "Greetings, Sajid. It's a new name for me, Tiglo Ghiza Nisrane. Where are you from, Tiglo? Where are you based?" Jimane Siom, welcome, Jimane. How are you? Abdi Karim Farah joined to a member. Warm welcome, Abdi Karim. King Alpha joined after so many days. This is PO Boy. Okay, so you have changed your screen name. You are now King Alpha. King Alpha is a member too. Abdi Karim is also a member. Special welcome to both of you. There's three main topics in today's live chat. Uh, Abadi Leol joined to says, hi Abadi. Firstly, Volkait, the mayor, released a message today. Was the message released in response to major rallies taken out in Tigray today? Thousands of IDPs marched in Tigray today. And after that, Volkait mayor spoke. What did he say? Secondly, is Kenyan president in trouble? Ruto seems to be in trouble. Protests still ongoing. What is the reason behind this trouble? It's not just simple protest against the government. I think Ruto will have to rethink his strategy of forming alliance with the West. A few days ago, Ruto was being presented as face of Africa by international community, by Westerners and Americans, and now Ruto is facing a real challenge in the country. Lastly, Somalia, where the UN Security Council session is due to start on Monday on the situation in Somalia. We'll talk about that. Mengistu says, when you get pay from Egypt, so we can share, please. Dark Star says, greetings. What's your opinion on the significant increase in Oromo representation in Addis Ababa's public sectors? This was TPLF's approach during the EPRDF era. Average Dom says Kenya's Channel Z is more like Ethiopia's Kios. Yeah, it's like you. I agree that the ongoing protests in Kenya are youth protests uh, triggered by economic problems. Hero movement, we cannot say it was mainly due to economic reasons. I think people wanted political change. They were fed up with TPLF, maybe TPLF being a minority ethnic group remained in power for decades. So There are some parallels too we can draw between Kyiv's protest and the ongoing Kenyan protests too, and some differences as well. Saifu Ashato says, "Hi Sajid, how are you? I love your honest views. Thank you, Ashato." Engisham Photo says, "Hi Sajid, Iranian official has rejected the report by Abdussalam Babikar. Call them liars." Well, that is what they say. Iranian never acknowledged the reports of Abdussalam Babikar. Fami Musa joined too. How are you, Fami? Jimenez says, "I'm sure by the Amhara side will try to stop Tigrayans to return to their homes, but they cannot." Andrew Tapper says, "Thanks for all you do, Sajid. You are appreciated." Thank you, Andrew Tapper. King Alpha joined too. King Alpha here. I mentioned his name first. Said Ruto has become the puppet of the West. Moses says, "Hi, brother. How are you, Moses?" By the way, just one point I want to make before we start our live chat. 2 days ago, I talked about the question of genocide in Tigray because people ask questions and they want my views. And I said that my view, my opinion from day one has been very clear. I always say that people died in Tigray, civilians died too, women raped as well, extrajudicial killings happened, human rights abuses happened in Tigray, in Amhara, in Afar, all parties involved in varying degrees. Tigray fighters obviously as well involved, ENDF, EDF, Amhara militias all involved, and I always say international investigation, impartial investigation should be conducted. That is what has been my opinion since day one about the human rights abuses in Tigray. I always said that the bar for genocide is very high. To say that genocide has been committed in Tigray would be an exaggeration. It does not mean that we are saying that no human rights abuses have been committed. Some Amhara social media activists are sharing my videos on Twitter, etc. And they're showing one part of my statement where I'm saying that no genocide. Where is genocide? Getachew welcoming Abiy today. Abiy was a genocider for TPLF. Now Abiy is being received with open arms by TPLF leaders. They are just sharing this part of my opinion, but the other part of my opinion, which is about human rights abuses committed in Tigray, they're not sharing. As if I am denying the human rights abuses committed in Tigray. That's unfair. So my views very clear from day one. I have held the same views, and I have the same views about the genocide claims by Amharas. No genocide of Amhara was ongoing. People dying in Amhara in revenge attacks. Almost all massacres in Ethiopia involving civilians have been revenge attacks. Whenever an Ethiopian group, armed group, military, whenever it suffers losses, then it uses brute force against those who are suspected having links with the other side. This is what happened in Tigray, in Amhara, in BG, in Oromia. This is what I have learned through following these massacres. All parties involved. No genocide of Amharas, no genocide of Oromos, no genocide of Tigrayans. Yes, Tigrayans suffered more. It was a 2-year-long war. Tigray was under siege. People died in combat too, because of lack of food too, because of lack of facilities too. All that happened. No one can deny. Now, let's start with, I think we should start with Kenya. What is happening in Kenya? Why is Ruto in trouble? Just a few days ago, uh, Ruto was representing Africa. Special welcome accorded to Ruto in the US a few weeks ago. Then, when the international community met to talk about Russia Ukraine war, it was Ruto from East Africa who represented East Africa, or Africa, you can say. He was the face of Africa. New grants, loans, investments for Kenya were being announced. In return, Ruto was vowing to align with Western and American interests. He agreed to send his forces to Haiti. He agreed to send his forces to another country as well, to restore normalcy there. He agreed to play a role in Sudan to prop up a government of military and civilian factions. He agreed to work for American interests, Western interests, the protection of interests. But it seems that whatever he was doing was not being well received in Kenya. The protests, which are still ongoing in Kenya, are turning into anti IMF protests. IMF gave bailout packages to Ethiopia, loans, grants. And whenever IMF gives loans, it plans how to recover the loan. It just shares entire economic map of the country with the recipient country, that you'll have to take money from these sectors to pay us back. So they demand action from the government. Now, the new tax law, finance law, which is being proposed by the Kenyan government, is going to lead to increase in prices of fuel, etc., food item, etc. People worried, and now they're accusing the IMF. They say that it is the IMF which wants to take over Kenya, and Ruto will have to choose between IMF or the people of Kenya. It's a very interesting situation now. By the way, so far, no large scale crackdown on protesters. Some arrests have been made, confirmed by Amnesty International, but a few only. It's not that hundreds or thousands of people have been arrested in Kenya. No, no confirmation. Only a few arrested. It happens when people protest. They set fire to objects. Largely, the protests are peaceful. Parts of law have been revoked. People not calling off the protests. Today, for the first time, Ruto personally responded to the protesters. Protesters want to talk to the president now. They say they want public statement about the new law. They want to talk to the president himself. President spoke today, and the man appreciated the peaceful nature of protests. And he said that he would engage with the protesters. Youth protests, main community participating in these protests is youth. A viewer rightly pointed out a few minutes ago that it's like Ethiopian chaos movement. But we saw how the chaos movement ended. EM Abiy's government just crushed chaos movement. So a peaceful political movement, turned into a nightmare in Ethiopia. Here, no crackdown so far. I don't think that Kenya can launch the type of crackdown which Abiy launched after uh, the murder of Hachalo. If something big happens like Hachalo's murder happened in Ethiopia, that could be used as an excuse to stifle this, to crush this movement. So far, protests ongoing. Ruto in trouble. Ruto, while is enjoying a global status, is becoming weak internally. His image as that of a Western puppet, not the right word, but this image is developing. Will have to work to remove this label. He'll have to work to show himself as an independent leader on good terms with the West, with the US, China, Russia, all the parties. Let's see how these protests end up in Kenya. And by the way, no one is going to save Ruto. If people somehow manage to remove Ruto, neither US nor EU, no one is going to rescue Ruto. That is what happens whenever American Western allies are in trouble internally. These outsiders are not known for supporting their allies. They'll wait for the next one to come and form ties with the next one. Hilo says, Sajid, don't you think that the deployment of troops into Somalia and the sending of war jets from Air Force Base to their diversity is to get the attraction of the Western support for PMRB? I don't know. So far, Ethiopian troops only crossed into Sudan for a few hours. They returned. So some sources are saying that within the last few days, thousands of Ethiopian troops have managed to enter Somalia, but I am in the process of confirmation. I could not confirm that. They entered Dolo, but they were not several thousand. They entered Mataban, Heron region, they returned. Who killed Hachalo? I don't know. Johannes says you're trying to equate Tigray genocide with Amhara and Oromo killing. You're not equating it. If you analyze the three claims of genocide separately, to my opinion would be the same. Ayana says the Kenyatta family, who are Pan Africanists, are likely to see Ruto as a sellout. Daniel joined my friend Daniel Abate after some time. How are you, Daniel? Daniel with me for almost 3 years now. In comments, in through other mediums, we stay in touch. Zero says, Sajid, you are spreading misinformation and speak without really understanding what the dynamics are and what the historical context of current events are. Well, I have every right to form an opinion. It's not misinformation. You should know what misinformation is. I have every right to form an opinion. If you have counter opinion, you have every right to express it too in comment section. I invite you to write for news edits. I always invite people that if you have a counter narrative about anything, you can write. I am willing to publish your views. I have published so many articles there on newsedits.com in opinion section. articles critical of Mahara, Oromo, government, Ola, Fan, all are there. So they have every right to have an opinion. You can counter that. Same is again with me. I could be mistaken, but I'm not misinforming anyone. Welcome, Yamasgan. Yamasgan join too. Irati Asmara says Sajid spreads opinions without facts. So I'm inviting you to spread facts if you have any facts. I am giving you the medium right there, right here. I'm reading your comments. I'm willing to publish your views. That's what I can do. Now, second viewers, today Volkait Mayor released a message. It seems a message released in response to the protests held in Tigray today. The protests were held across Tigray today in Makale, Shere, Aksom. Thousands of people marched, mainly IDPs. They want to return to their homes in these cities for around 3 years now. They fled the contentious territories. Southern Tigray, Western Tigray, Volkait Tsegede, Salemti, and Tigrayan border areas, Badme, etc. So all these IDPs are from disputed territories. They marched today in Makale too. They said that they were told that by the end of first week of June, the issue of Raya and Salemti will be solved. IDPs will start returning. It has not happened so far. Then they asked settlers that settlers who have occupied our homes must withdraw. We want to return to our homes. Getachew responded to these protests. He said that soon the return of IDPs will begin. Return of IDPs to Salamti, to Volkait, to Southern Zone will begin. Let's see when will this return of IDPs begin. Then Ashati Damlio spoke, the mayor of Volkait. What did he say? Erati Asmara says, be better, speak for your own country that is on fire. It means we should only talk about our own countries. There should not be any news outlet covering more than one country. A person should speak only about the country from where he is. Shate Damlio's message definitely was in response to the protests. He criticized today's protests in Tigray. And he said that Volkait Tsegede is not territory. It's not land. It's what we are. Its language, its history, its culture, its emotion. We are here. We have sacrificed to be here. No one can expel us. We are alert, we are ready because Volkait Tsegede, he called Volkait Tsegede, is everything for us. Strong message, emotional message from the Volkait Tsegede mayor. Tigray is not going to make a move towards Volkait so far. Tigray's target is Salemti. We know that Tigray cross stack as a river. In coming days, we could see some movement in Salamti, some developments in Salamti. And after that, the flashpoint. Volkait Mayor, Kanadamake are not likely to intervene in Salamti, I think. Bana groups so far have not shown any advances towards Salamti too. So let's see what happens. But so far, Volkait Mayor and Demake in their speeches say they are ready, they're alert. They won't allow anyone to expel them from these areas. And they say that today's protests were basically a threat from Tigray, that Tigrayans will soon take over Volkait, they'll march towards Volkait. Let's hope that things are settled peacefully. And this flashpoint somehow is uh, it turns into a peaceful area, mutually agreed settlement is put in place. LAR says, I am an American and have friends in the Horn of Africa. I greatly appreciate Sajid's reporting. Thank you, LAR. Okay, Erati Asmara is clarifying something. He said that he was responding to another man when he said that talk about your own country. So let's see what happens. Honestly, if you ask me, I think I said, if you remember, that Tigray maybe will be able to take back Raya. I said that months ago, even last year too. I said that Raya could be retaken by Tigray. Why? Because Amhara government, Amhara groups claims to Raya are not as strong as the claims to Volkai. So that is why they've been supporting the idea of referendum in Raya, but not in Volkai. They'll agree to handing over of Raya to Tigray. And almost that is what happened. They just issue statements, Tigray fighters largely in control of Raya. Salamti. Here too, I think. I think. I don't have any insiders information, just my analysis. Salamti, I think, yes, Tigray will be able to take back Salamti. Main flashpoint is Volkait. Here, what will happen is uncertain. Honestly, I am at a loss. It's difficult for me to predict what will happen in Volkait. Be Better says, wow, Sajid, why are you mad? You haven't answered my question, but Erati Asmar are getting replies multiple times. What was your question? DW Ethiopia says, what do you think should happen in Volkai? Well, I proposed a solution, I think 3 years ago. I did a video, I remember, especially about Volkai. I proposed a solution. I was criticized that who are you to decide? Who are you to talk about solutions? We will talk about solutions. You have no right to recommend things. I said that since sensitivities are so high on both sides, since claims to this zone are so entrenched, so strong on both sides, that if the issue cannot be resolved peacefully through dialogue, and a war is imminent over Volkait, then the best solution is some sort of joint administration of the area, or administration of the area by a third party, neither Tigray nor Amhara, or a joint administration. That can be decided by the parties to the conflict: Tigray, Amhara, Ethiopian federal government. They can talk about that. They can decide what to do. I mean, if Tigray fighters want to take over Volkait by force, and we see start of a war, which is not likely, by the way. Full scale war over Volkait is not likely. But if it happens, don't you think there should be a solution? Solution which is acceptable to all. B better says once Amhara is united and stronger than TDF, whose population is small, do you think ENDF will align Fano with 30 plus population or Tragaraya minority? Now, your question is based on a presumption that once Amhara is united, how will Amhara be united? I mean, there is PP in power, part of the government. There is Fano fighting against PP. Fano says it is ready to tolerate Tigray fighters taking over Raya, but it does not want to divert its attention from Bahirdar. For Fano, enemy number one is Amhara PP. So how will this unity come in Amhara? Tola Bola says, Major General Fano, Sajid, how is Fano doing? I was called Major General of Tigray too. Then I was called an Ola commander too. I am a Fano commander. So I have the experience of leading all these armed groups in Ethiopia now. And sometimes I'm on the payroll of government too, ENDF as well. So I have presence there too. Dark Star says, why is full-scale war not likely in Volkait? Well, reason is simple. Full-scale war will happen if Tigray decides to take over Volkait by force. ENDF opposes, and Amhara opposed. We'll see a war. If Tigray and ENDF are on one page, we won't see a full-scale war. Eritrea won't come to the support of Amhara fighters there. Amhara PP leaders, they are in power. Why would they just go for a war? They would like to just issue statements. Fano will fight. Can Fano wage a full-scale war in Volkait, keeping in view how far Volkait is from Amhara? There are logistical issues. If ENDF and TDF join hands, there won't be full-scale war in Volkait. There will be fighting. There will be clashes. And the zone will become destabilized if local people resist, if Namakazadu resists. But there won't be full-scale war like we saw in Tigray and from 2020 2-year-long war. Lastly, viewers, last topic, then we'll go to the live chat. Somalia, on Monday, UN Security Council will meet. Uh, UN Secretary General's representative, Africa Union representative will give a briefing there, and open briefing, then closed door consultation. Agenda, I think it's extension of the mandate of African Union peacekeeping mission, which will expire at the end of this year. Somalia has, in principle, agreed to the extension of the mandate of the African Union troops. It will be interesting to see if anything is said about Ethiopia Somalia tension and the presence of Ethiopian troops in Somalia in 2025. Ethiopia might be told to withdraw its troops, which are part of who are part of ATMOS. Somalia does not want to see Ethiopian troops part of ATMOS in 2025. ATMOS extension will be considered. Then the relations between the Mogadishu government and federal member states will also come under discussions. Political mission, which is going to terminate in September, there is no extension, will also be discussed. So Monday crucial. Let's see. The African Union Peace and Security Council proposed this week that African Union mission should continue after 2024. To Kenya is also supportive of the continuation. Ethiopia also supported this idea, but Ethiopian troops might have to leave. So we'll see tomorrow. Yemane Goitom says soon Brigadier Hamado will control Eritrea and Ethiopia. Fano supporters think soon Fano will control Addis Ababa. Brigadier the people say that Brigadier Hamado will control Eritrea, Ethiopia soon. Ola people say they are about to reach Addis Ababa. Tigray says that nothing big can happen in the Horn of Africa without uh, TPLF's participation. Abe Kareo. Sajid, do you think Somalia in peace unless Eritrea stops supporting Al Shabaab? Who told you that Eritrea is supporting Al Shabaab? Eritrean government is an ally of the federal government of Somalia in the fight against Al Shabaab. That is what their official position is, by the way. Because 40 minutes have passed. Thank you for being with me for the last 40 minutes. I think we should end the live chat. We talked about William Ruto, Kenyan president, seems to be in trouble. What will he do? How will he get out of this mess? Protesters want to talk to him directly. Secondly, we talked about Volkait situation. Volkait mayor responded to the protests held in Tigrayan. Thirdly, Somalia on Monday, UN Security Council will meet to discuss the security and the political situation in Somalia. Thank you for watching, viewers. It was good to be with you. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay blessed.